Hey Deckers, it's always great to see new and innovative products coming into the Steam Deck market. However, some of them execute it better than others. I was really excited to get my hands on this NewQ Kickstand dock. Thanks NewQ for sending this over for us to have a look at. It's really funky, although the kickstand isn't the easiest to pull out, especially when it's on the deck. However, it does clip on incredibly quickly and easily. My only bugbear about the way it clips on is that it actually hooks into the fan outlets. Now, though I don't expect it would hurt the airflow much. However, the positioning of the dock is what concerns me. Not only the position of the dock, but this wire. Why there isn't an easy way to tuck this away, and why it wasn't top mounted with a much shorter cable, I do not know, as it does not look the prettiest, even with just the dock sat in the place. And without it plugged in, it really does wave all over the place. Now, the kickstand does hold it in an extremely nice position. It's very stable and it does actually look quite cool. Problem is, it has two USB 2 ports. Now, to put that into perspective, you can see it caps my disk usage at 40 megabits per second. But if I connect it to, say, the official dock, I can actually pull over 130 megabits per second on the usage there. So USB 2, not the most useful if you're going to be using an external SSD. But if you are only going to be using it for something like keyboard and mouse, then it's not going to be a huge problem for you. Otherwise, this is a funky little dock. It will not work with a case because of the way that it mounts to the Steam Deck. And unfortunately, if you are still using the official Steam Deck case, as you can see here, you got no chance of fitting it in, especially not with it plugged in as well. But the dock itself doesn't sit flush. And even if you were able to tuck that cable away somewhere, it really isn't very comfortable in the official case, and there's no way of closing it. Of course, you can take the dock off and have a look at trying to tuck it into the backplate. It's fairly stable because of the lips, but again, it's not exactly the most stylish of designs, and that cable really does just stick out like a sore thumb. If you have the JSOX case, you can find a link for this in the description below if you did want to pick one up, then this does actually fit inside the case. If you take it off and put it underneath the bottom section, it does actually sit flush, so you can then put the Steam Deck over the top without a problem and closes up nice and tight just fine. Now, if you do want to keep the dock on the Steam Deck, then if you unplug it and just open up all of the bottom sections, it does actually sit in the holder section quite happily as well, so you can actually manage to keep it on and secure in place. So the JSOX case, you can fit it all in, but you have no room for any other accessories. So slight issue on the storage side, but overall not too bad. Now, when it comes to using this as an actual dock, it's perfectly run of the mill. Apart from those USB 2 ports, you are able to get the HDMI connection in just fine. Power distribution is perfectly capable of 100 watts pass through, so you will be able to get the 45 watts required for charging the Steam Deck. But as I said, if you're going to use something like an external SSD, then you are going to get that capped speed. And as you can see here from our testing, my fear of the hotspot is confirmed. With running Phoenix Rising for a good 15 minutes, we see temperatures up to the 87s for both the CPU and GPU, with a fan hitting 6,700 RPM. But if we take the kickstand dock off and run it for the same 10 to 15 minutes, we're a good 2 to 3 degrees lower, with the fan nearly 1,000 RPM less as well. So unfortunately, covering that hotspot is going to make it run 2 to 3 degrees hotter and the fan a bit faster, also being a little bit more noisy. As you can see here though, we have no issue with the dock being on the HDMI. And if you've got those two USB ports, one for something like the Bluetooth keyboard, like the Re i4 that I use, then it works perfectly fine. The price point for this is around the mid-range at £35 or dollars, so let us know in the comments below if this is something you want to pick up. As I said, if you're not going to be using SSDs on the external USB, then you're going to be able to have fun with this just fine. However, that cable is very annoying, so close, yet so far on this one. Hopefully they'll release a version with USB 3 and something a little bit better on the layout of the actual dock itself. As you can see, it's not the best looking with everything plugged in, and I'd really hope that they put those ports maybe on the back with the top mounted short cable for the power connector moving forwards. Let us know in the comments below if you're going to be picking this one up, and if you use the links in the description below, we may get a small commission as they're Amazon affiliate links. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.